Hello friends, welcome to Learner's Planet. Friends, this is our fifth session for profit and loss. I'm sure you might have revised all the previous sessions of this topic. Okay, so let's begin to take some new concepts, some new problems in this session. Now let's say this question. The labeled price of a cupboard is 6,500. The shopkeeper sold it by giving 5% discount on the labeled price and earned a profit of 15%. Now let's assume the cost price to be X. Okay, and since he is earning a profit of 15%, the selling price must be 115% of X, or we can say it is 1.15X. Now this is the selling price, and this is actually 5%, that is 95% of mark price. Since the shopkeeper is giving 5% discount, that means he is selling it at 95% price. That means it is 95% of this 6,500. So from this we can calculate X. So X is equal to 65 into 95 by 1.15. Okay, so just multiply these terms, solve this, and you'll be getting the answer. Approximately it is 5350. Okay, I hope you are clear. Let's take the next problem. Now let's say this question. If a discount of 10% is given on the written price of an article, the gain is 20%. If the discount is increased to 20%, what is the gain? Friends, let's assume the cost price to be 100 rupees. Okay. In the first case, the profit is 20%. That means selling price is rupees 120. And this is the selling price after 10% discount on the mark price. That means it is 90% of mark price. We can say 90% of marked price. Okay, so we can calculate the mark price. It's 400 by 3. Now if the discount is increased to 20%, what is the profit percent? Now discount will be given on the mark price. If we wish to give 20% discount, that means we are selling it 80% of the mark price. So the new selling price is 80% of this price, or we can say 4 by 5 of this price. Okay, so let's calculate this. So it is okay. So the cost price was rupees 100 and the selling price is 106 2 by 3. That means the profit is 6 2 by 3%. I'm sure you are clear. Further, a shopkeeper sells 25 articles at rupees 45 per article after giving 10% discounts and earns 50% profit. If the discount is not given, the profit percent is. Now friends, let's assume the cost price to be rupees 100. We don't require these data to calculate the profit percent in this case. Okay, so let's assume the cost price rupees 100. Now the profit is 50%. That means the selling price is 150 rupees and it is 90% of the mark price, isn't it? Since on mark price 10% discount is being given, so it is 90% of marked price. So we can calculate the mark price. So mark price will be 500 by 3. Okay. So if the discount is not given, the profit percent is. So if 500 by 3 is the mark price and 100 rupees is the cost price. So we have to find out the profit percent. So let's calculate this. That means the selling price and the mark price, both of them are same. So okay, now cost price is 100 and the mark price is, I'm sorry, 166 2 by 3. That means 66 2 by 3% is the profit. I hope you are clear. Friends, we do not require these data since we are asked the profit in terms of percentage. So we can assume the cost price to be 100. Okay. Now let's say this question. Raheja bought 76 cows, the price of each cow being the same, and then sold 20 at a profit of 15%, 40 at a profit of 19%, and remaining at a profit of 25%, making a total profit of 26280. Okay, let's assume the cost price of each cow is X. That means the total price is 76X. Okay, now he's selling 20 at a profit of 15%. That means 20 cows at the rate of 1.15x he's selling, since X is the cost price and the selling price must be 115% of it. Okay. So what is the profit he's making in this case? It is 15% of X. So profit in this case is 15% of X. Okay, for one cow. For 20 cows, the total profit is this. Okay. So it is 3x. Now 40 at a profit of 19%. Okay, so profit in this case is 19% of X and number of cows are 40. Then it is 7.6x. Now remaining cows, that is 40 plus 20, 60. That means remaining 16 cows he's selling at a profit of 25%. That is 25% of X per cow. And how many cows? Here 16 cows. So the total profit is 4x. So in all, 4 plus 3, 7 plus 7.6, that is 14.6x is the total profit. Now total price is 76x and total profit is 14.6x. Now actually 14.6x is this data. So 14.6 is equal to 26280. That means x is equal to 26280 by 14.6, which we can calculate. So we'll be getting 1800 rupees as the cost price. The value of x will be 1800 and x is the cost price of one cow. So it will be 1800, option A. Okay, I hope you are clear. Friends, in your examination timings, you can avoid this paperwork. You can directly come to this calculation. Okay, so lots of time and paper will be saved. Now let's take the next problem. Friends, I'm sure you are solving problems with me. Now let's say this one. Raj bought two mirrors for rupees 100 each and sold them. On one, he is making a loss of 20%, and on the other, he is making a profit of 1/5 of selling price. We have to find his overall loss or profit. Okay. Now let's assume in this case, the selling price of mirror is 100 rupees per piece. So the cost price of the first mirror will be 100 over 0.8, that is since we are making a loss of 20%, so the cost price will be 100 over 0.8. So it is 125 rupees. Okay. Now the cost price of the second mirror will be, since there is a profit of 1/5 of selling price, that means profit is, in case of second mirror, profit is 1/5 of the selling price. That means 1/5 of 100. That means 20 rupees. So profit is 20 rupees and selling price is 100 rupees. That means the cost price is 100 minus 20, 80 rupees. Now the total cost price is 125 plus 80, that is 205 rupees, and the total selling price is 200 rupees. That means rupees 5 loss. Okay, and 5 rupees is lost over 205 rupees into 100. Okay, so 100 by 41 is approximately his loss percent. Friends, this is his actual loss, but we are asked the profit or loss on his total outcome. That is, we have to calculate the profit or loss on selling price. So the loss is 5 rupees and selling price is 200 rupees. So it is 5 by 2% loss. Okay. Be very careful about it. We have to calculate the loss or profit on his total outlay. Okay. So it's 5 by 2% loss. Now friends, once again the similar problem. Solve it on your own and then match your answer and procedure with mine. Shweta sold 2 toys for rupees 10 each. On one he is making a profit of 25% and on the other he is losing 1/4 of the selling price. We have to find out his overall profit or loss. Okay. Now let's find the cost price of the first toy on which he is making a profit of 25%. That means SP by CP is equal to 5 by 4. That means selling price is 125% of the cost price, or it is 5 by 4. Now if selling price is 10, we can calculate the cost price. It will be rupees 8. So the cost price of first mirror is first toy is rupees 8. Okay. Now on the other he is losing, she is losing 1/4 of the selling price. Okay. That means loss is 1/4 of the selling price, that is 2.5 rupees. That means cost price is 10 plus 2.5, that is 12.5. Okay. Now the total cost price is 12.5 plus 8, that is 20.5. Total cost price is 20.5. Okay. And the total selling price is 20, that means 50 paisa loss. That means 50 paisa loss. Okay. So it's this. I'm sure you are clear. Now let's see this question. A vendor buys oranges at rupees 2 for 3 oranges and sells them at a rupee each. To make a profit of rupees 10, he must sell. We have to find out the number of oranges. Okay, now what is the cost price per orange? That is 2 by 3. And what is the selling price per piece? That is 1. So profit is 1 minus 2 by 3. That is 1 by 3 rupees. Okay. So if he sells 1 orange, he is getting 1 by 3 rupees as a profit. So 1 by 3 on 1 by for 1 by 3 rupees profit, he should sell 1 orange. So for 10 rupees profit, he should sell 30 oranges. Okay. I hope you are clear. Now friends, let's discuss some cases of frauds where the sellers are making the profit by underweighing of commodities. Okay, in this case, a dishonest dealer professes to sell his goods at cost price but uses a weight of 875 gram for a kilogram weight. We have to find his profit percent. Now friends, profit is always calculated on cost price, that we know. Okay, now let's assume the cost price of 1 kilogram is rupees 100. Friends, we are trying to derive a logic for this particular question, and the same logic can be applied to this type of question. Okay, so cost price of 1 kilogram is rupees 100. Okay, now what will be the cost price of 875 gram? Since he is selling 875 gram and telling that he is selling 1 kilogram. Okay, so the cost price of 875 gram is 87.5 rupees. Okay, and selling price of 875 gram will be rupees 100, since he is telling that he is taking the cost price of 1 kilogram, and cost price of 1 kilogram is rupees 100, but he is actually selling 875 gram. So the difference of these two is the profit. Now what's that? It is 12.5. Okay, now 12.5 rupees is his profit, and the cost price is 87.5. We have to choose the right cost price. We cannot choose this cost price as he's selling 875 gram actually, not 1 kilogram, and this is the cost price for 1 kilogram. Okay, so we are choosing the true cost price, that is 87.5, and the profit is 12.5 and into 100. Okay, so we'll be getting the profit percent. So it is 100 by 7, or we can say 14.2 by 7% profit. Okay. So friends, we can derive a logic over here, that is profit percent in this sort of cases is difference in weight by false weight into 100. Okay, why we have taken the difference in weight? Since he is selling 875 gram and is charging for 1 kilogram, so profit is difference in weight, isn't it? Now why we are taking false weight? Since his actual cost price is of 875 gram is 87.5 rupees, so that is the false weight is 875, okay, into 100. Now the same logic can be applied to other questions also. Now let's see the similar question. In this case, the wrong length is being used. A cloth dealer professes to sell cloth at cost price, but the length which he is using is only 33 centimeters long in place of 36 centimeter. We have to find his profit percent. Now friends, as we have derived the logic in the previous question, you can directly put the values in that particular logic or formula. Okay, now what is the difference in weight? Here in this case it is difference in length, so it is 3 centimeter. Okay, that is his profit. That means he is actually charging for 36 centimeter but giving out 33 centimeter. That means he is actually making profit of 3 centimeter on selling 33 centimeters. Okay. So it is 3 by 33 into 100. Okay, so it is 9 by 11%. I just repeat, he is telling that he is selling 36 centimeter, but actually he is selling 33 centimeter. So he is making a profit of 3 centimeter. Okay, and definitely for 33 centimeter he might have paid for 33 centimeters only, but now he's charging 36 centimeter. So the actual cost price will be on 33 centimeters. So we are getting this calculation. Okay, I hope you are clear. Now let's say this question. While professing to sell his goods at a profit of 20%, a trader uses 900 grams for a kilogram weight. That means he is charging for 1200 gram instead of a kilogram. Okay, that means he is already telling that he is making a profit of 20%. So he is charging for 1200 gram but giving 900 gram. Okay, so the profit is 300 gram. Now definitely he must have paid for 900 gram only. That means on every 900 gram he is making a profit of 300 gram. So 300 gram profit on every 900 grams. Okay, so it is 100 by 3, or we can say 33 1 by 3% profit he is making. I'm sure you are clear. No much paperwork is required. In fact, you can do this problem mentally. Now let's see this question. A dishonest dealer professes to sell his goods at cost price, but he uses a weight of 960 gram for 1 kilogram weight. Okay, find his profit percent. Now friends, he's charging for 1000 gram and giving out 960 gram. That means he's making 40 gram profit on every 960 gram. So this is his profit percent. Okay, 40 gram on every 960 gram. So it's 100 by 24. So we can say 25 by 6% is his profit. Okay, which is none of these. Now let's see this question. A man shows a loss of 4% on the cost price but uses a weight of 800 gram instead of 1 kilogram. What is his gain percent? Friends, we have to consider two facts over here, right? One, he is charging for what? From this we can calculate the selling price or profit. Okay, and he is giving what? That is a cost portion, or we can say from this we can deduce the cost price. Now in this case, what he is telling that he is making a loss of 4%. That means he is just showing to public that he is actually making a loss that is of 4%. Okay, that means if he is giving 1 kilogram, he is charging for only 960 gram. That is 4% of 1 kilogram. Okay. Now he is charging for 960 gram, but actually he is giving how much? He is giving only 800 gram. So he has paid for 800 gram and he is charging 160 gram for 160 gram extra. Okay, that means on every 800 gram he is taking extra money for 160 gram. So this 160 gram is his profit. Okay, and he has paid only for 800 gram. So this is into 100 is the profit percent. Okay, so it is 20% profit. I hope you are clear. Now friends, just change the data of this particular question and we just discuss the various cases of frauds. In this case, he is showing a loss. Suppose he is telling that he is making a profit. Okay, that means he is telling public that he is making a 4% profit only. Okay, but along with that he is using a false weight. Now his actual profit will be more than that. Okay, that means more than 4%. Now what it will be? So if he is telling that he is making profit of 4%, that means on every 1000 gram he is taking 4% of that extra, that is 1040 gram, that is 1040. That means he is charging for 1040 but actually he is giving 800 grams. So what is the difference between these two? It is 240. Okay, that means on every 800 gram he is making a profit of 250 grams. Okay, since he is paying for 800 grams only and he is making profit of 240 gram on every 800 gram, so he's profit is 30%. Okay, so this is like one case. Now suppose he says that he's making a loss of say 10% on the cost price, but simultaneously he is using a weight of maybe 900 gram. Then we have to find out his profit percent. Let's consider it as a next case. Now he's telling that he's making a loss of 10%. That means to public he's showing that he's just charging for 900 gram. Okay, so he's charging for 900 gram but giving also 900 gram. So what is his profit? His no profit, since he's charging for 900 gram and is giving 900 grams. So in this case he's making no profit, no loss. Okay, so no profit, no loss. Now let's take one more case. Now suppose let's take, this is a case of profit of 10%, and along with that he is using a false weight of say 850 grams. Now in this case his profit will be definitely more than 10% since he is using false weight, or we can say he is using 850 gram instead of 1 kilogram. Now let's calculate what his actual profit is. Okay, now profit is 10% since he's telling he's charging for 1100 grams. If profit is 10%, that means he's charging for 1100 gram. But giving how much? He's giving only 850 gram. That means the difference is, it is 250. Okay, now for every 850 grams, he's making profit of 250 grams. Okay, so we can calculate his profit. Okay, similarly there are cases when the persons or the sellers are making frauds of lengths, weights and other measurements. So everywhere the cases are like this only. You can calculate the what is he's paying for, what he's charging for, and what actually he's giving. Okay, so if you are clear about what he's giving and what he's charging for, then you don't have to remember any sort of formula. So to summarize, I just would tell you once again over here that just be clear what the person is charging for. Okay, and what is he giving? Okay, so from this you'll be getting the cost price, and from this you'll be getting the profit or selling price data. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this concept. Friends, some of the problems of profit and loss and percentage we will be solving in the chapter or topic allocation and mixture. So after this session you can go for the allocation and mixture session, so your concepts will be more clear. Till then, bye bye, and do revise this particular session also.